Thought that it was getting better. I keep getting fucked over. So, what? This is so dodgy. Okay, episode 1 was, I knew nothing was gonna go perfect, but like, damn, this is awful. Oh, what a time. What a time, what a time. Just as you think it's gonna get better. I didn't even know who that person was. Well, I'm here. So we're just going to go from, without all the stuttering, I'm just going to go through basically everything that I just did in that past screw up. Right, we're going to go through it kind of quickly and then we can get back into what I wanted to do. Okay, so I don't like Bloxo. You just... What I don't understand is why people want to watch, you know, gameplay videos over and over again was relatively the same thing. I mean, if it's modded, that's kind of cool, but like, it does seem very repetitive how you can just post 2 videos a day or like 1 video a day and every single time it's just gameplay video after gameplay video after gameplay video. And isn't that just like, I don't get that. And then another thing that I mentioned before, I had to screw up again. I thought for like 7 months. I thought for like 7 months that the Ace's son, DYZ, was actually Ace's son. It's like 7 months later, because I messaged him, I DM'd him, and I was like, yo, are you Ace's son? And he was like, yeah. So for like 7 months, I genuinely thought that he was Ace's son. And then when I found out, because it was Ace's birthday a while back, that's when I found out. And I realized, damn, I'm so embarrassed, like, isn't it just like, yeah, I'm back. Isn't it just kind of crazy how I've been in this community for not that long, like 9, 11, I think maybe like 11 months, maybe even a bit less. I've played the game for years, and I'm just sitting here and I'm observing all of this. It's crazy. So, one thing, yeah, so I did explain the stick war lore, but we'll go through that later. Yeah, so my overview on what happened was Ace player had just like been petty, you know, towards CJ because he didn't like the jug skin. I didn't realise that he kicked him off the dev boards and ghosted him for 2 weeks, then tried to get him to do the same thing again. It was only I realised that after Ace player decided to call me out in front of the whole 34,000 people on the Stick War Discord. Now, granted, a lot of them weren't active, but damn, it was something, you know. So, another thing was, so after we spoke, yeah, I made like a 10-minute documentary on all of it, and it was just kind of crazy. Like, it almost felt like it almost felt like I was forced to do it. The Stick War community, I've come into it at such a weird time. So, what it felt like for me was, I've just come in, I wanted to make videos on the lore, and then there's a massive argument between the two biggest sides. Between the two biggest sides that were, like, in the Stick War community. And as much as I could have said that I was on Ace's side, I was almost sitting on the fence, and granted, I never really got CJ's perspective, so you could only really side with Ace. It was actually when Ace made his his video, like, just saying everything that CJ has been messaging, where I saw kind of what CJ wanted to do, and that was like, and that he just wanted to do his work almost, but he just wasn't doing it well, and he would ignore all the criticism, but then he would reply to the very few people that actually said he was doing well, and those are the people who just simply didn't understand what was going on. Now, is it fair for me to say that one of them is correct and the other one is not? No. Is it fair for me to say that both have done some things right and both have done some things wrong? No, actually. That's why I wanted to do this. It's just like, you know, when, how am I going to put this into a metaphor? You know when, like, I can't even, like, I wanted to side with Ace, and I was siding with Ace. I mean, I was messaging him a lot, I was doing things, I was basically spreading his word, hence, yeah, I was, like, spreading his word, and then he leaked V's poem. I just don't know how to respond to that. I was surprised that he did. How he got a hold of it, I'm not sure. But like, wow. You'd think that someone who devoted 1/3 of their life, as he would like to say a lot, to the game would not want to ruin it. I guess he saw that it was already ruined enough. Now, what I don't want this podcast to be is me just, you know, siding with someone. I just want to, like, speak, basically. I didn't understand why any of it happened in the first place. Like, so I joined the community, as I said, relatively late. So, was there something before the joke that was, like, even worse? Because I heard, apparently, that there was a few things, like the player control and the tower unit spawns, which are apparently, there were some bad things about it that everyone was trying to tell him to change, but he refused to change. And I'm not entirely sure, because the balance sucked. I think that was it. It was just, he wouldn't listen to anything, because he wanted things to be his way only, but not even, like, his way, but he can change it. So, if you're like going, hey, I'm gonna go, you know, wash up. I'm gonna do some washing up, you know, it'd be helpful around the house, and then your parents say to you, you need to wash up and stuff, and you need to, like, wash the dishes or something, then you don't want to do it. Maybe it's like that. If Ace told CJ that something wasn't perfect or not that good and it needs to be changed, I don't think CJ would want to change it anymore. Or write an essay on Harry. Miss Lacey, if you watch this, I don't need an essay. I don't need to be recognised by the masses. Actually, that's a complete lie. I need everyone to love me because I'm just incredible. Yeah, a lot of things happened very quickly, and I was sitting there trying to grab as many scraps as I could, you know. It was like I just needed to find everything, because okay, I'll love you, Chaos Empire, man, Sicklebear. I didn't think that we'd go there. Oh, shut up now. But it felt so overwhelming for even the bystanders. Like, I can't avoid this. This is like, you know, when you just you just have to, like, be there, you know, and when there's stuff happening there, like, I could search up CJ and Ace, and I would get thousands of messages of people siding. It was like, originally, it was like a 90% Ace, 10% CJ, and then slowly there was, like, a grey area in the middle. Then when CJ leaked V's poem, actually, I saw he lost 140 backers, like, right there. Like, and bro, they went to CJ so fast. Now, I don't exactly know the statistics of it right now, or if more people are siding with Ace or CJ, but if I was to guess, I think that a lot of people would be in this grey area middle, because it's like, Ace did something bad in a lot of people's eyes, and they wanted to not support someone who does that. But then they don't want to go to CJ because of everything that CJ had done, so they just sit in this grey area middle, like, thinking that they might side with someone, but they never truly understand it. It is such a weird time to be in this community. Like, imagine if someone came into this, so they got Stick War 3 and they're like, whoa, this is cool, search up Stick War 3, and they see this guy ranting about, like, the game mechanics and stuff, and they're like, oh wait, there's like, oh, I can join the Discord through the game's tab, and they join the Discord that is fallen apart, the one that everyone is, like, ranting on and stuff like that. That's not a good image for Stick War 3. What I'm worried about is that the new players won't be able to get enjoyment out of the game that we used to get via nostalgia. One of the original messages I sent to Ace Player was that maybe the reason you don't like the Jug is because of the nostalgia you had in Stick War 2 and Stick Empires. And he said it's not just about nostalgia. Now, I can't exactly remember. I don't know if it was, like, the best response, but I understand why people didn't like it. But hot take here. His friends list, he came across a user named Sicklebear. Something about the name caught his attention. Are you writing a fan fiction? He's writing a fan fiction. Ace Player was like, I've just lost my train of thought. Where was I? Oh yeah, hot take. I kind of like the Jug now. God, you're all gonna hate me for this. You found my Facebook. Don't you dare. And yeah, so I was, what am I saying? Oh my god, I've just lost this, like, oh wait, what, hold up. Yeah, so originally the Jug was like, he was bad, yeah. I didn't like the copy and paste from Malachi and all of that. Then when CJ added what basically we all said we wanted, the extra spikes and the more red and stuff, it was okay. And I kind of liked it more. In the game, he looks a bit better, but his art kind of looks a bit funky. Now, I wonder what would have happened if CJ just didn't make the Juggernaut skeleton. Like, what if none of this ever happened and Stick War would have been fine, V's poem wouldn't have been leaked, this whole thing sprouted from the Juggernaut being a bad-looking unit. Isn't that just so weird to think about? That the skin, or no skin actually, the lack of skin from a Stickman game caused so much conflict in a small community that, like, it's completely changed. That we have a new Discord server because people literally couldn't even people couldn't even like stand being there anymore. Now, I know that there are people who really don't like Ace Play now. Like, once heavy backers now really hate him. Like, isn't that not like a sign that it's not like... Okay. I'm about to have a rant, okay? When I was okay, yeah. So when I've lost it. Oh my days, man. What is wrong with me? How have I... Echo Industries pulling up... Can you hear this? Can you hear this? That's like just a little Velcro strap on the charger on my phone. Like that. Yeah. What was I gonna have a rant about? Damn it. I've actually forgotten what might have been one of the best parts of this podcast. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I think it'll come back to me later. So, I can't even, like, what the hell? What's just happened? So, I was, oh yeah, this isn't it, but another, like, little hot take. I actually really like Lavish. Like, I don't care, like, Lavish is cool. I mean, look at him, like, Lavish is a really cool guy. Like, everyone thought he was going to be, like, the swag miner from Stickwall Legacy, and not gonna lie, it did cross my mind, but I like what he looks like now, because I always knew Lavish was going to be, like, older, and I like him. Like, I put it in my Stickwall hot take video. My YouTube short, and I put Lavish looks badass, and he does. Oh, okay, so here's something. I will defend it with my life. I think that the Dead Kai is more powerful than the Maokai, okay? Now, before you go, oh, but actually in Stick 2 and Stick Empires, he had more abilities than the Dead Kai. Yeah, but when was the Maokai able to literally control a giant and summon hordes of zombies on his own? Exactly. The Maokai was not able to control an enslaved giant. He was just able to make bones come out of the ground and stuff. Like, the Dead Kai is more powerful. Like, so much more powerful. And you can't even, like, use him as well. So it's, like, just that much more. And I will back that for a while. Because I really do think that the Dead Kai is just significantly more powerful. Watch everyone... The Maokai voice. Actually, Wolfie, Cosmic Brains is not shite. You just have no idea how to use him. No, I like Plants vs. Zombies. I guess I could just keep going on those hot takes, you know? Like, wait, did everyone think that Kaichu was a man? Like, that was so... I was looking at Ace Play's leak videos, and it was like, CJ was like, what if I told you that Kaichu was a woman, and he put woman moment. I was like, I thought that was obvious, right? Yo, FIFA World Cup. Yeah, that wasn't a bad, actually. That wasn't a bad one. So, yeah, I was really confused. Because I always thought Kaichu was just a woman all the time, right? Is that not, like, obvious? But, whatever. Okay, so here's another one. You know the Golden Archer and Kaichu? This is, I think a lot of people know this, but back in the day, Kaiju isn't male. CJ literally said it. CJ said it himself that Kaiju isn't a male and Kaiju's a female. Look at CJ's look at Ace Player's leak videos. Kaiju is female. Back in the day, I had to tell people that Kaiju was not the same. Okay, yeah, that's true, I guess. They don't have any reproductive organs. So how can stickmen have identified genders? Because, CJ said it again himself that they don't have any, clothes just don't exist in this world. Yet sometimes they wear clothes and sometimes they don't. And it's really confusing if they're naked or not. Maybe they all actually just have, human features, proper human features underneath, and it's just like a stickman skin suit that they're wearing. Because, Mirror and Thingy, the Merricks are wearing clothes. So I'm not sure. Yeah, back in the day, I had to tell people, that Kaiju and Golden Archer were different people. And then when the mission came out with Kaiju, the weekly mission, and then you could put the Golden Archer in as well, and you see the difference in their headwear. It's weird. Since most Simps are attracted, they must be protected for some speculator, I guess. Now, I'm trying to remember what my rant was. Oh, remember when Ace Player said, CJ, that's why you're my favourite? He actively said that his favourite dev was CJ, and I just find that so crazy. Oh yeah, so when I wanted to do this podcast originally, I went to Ace Player about it, and he was he kind of did the same that CJ did to him, and he just didn't say anything. And then I had to get into a conversation with him a few days later and then bring it up, so I knew that he couldn't, get out of it. And then he told me that how can I have a guest if I don't have an original one without a guest, so I don't, that wasn't the exact message, but, it made a bit of sense. So now here I am, 2 weeks later, I think, it wasn't that long ago. And toothpick law. Alright guys, here you go, here's the toothpick law. So toothpicks are made of wood and they're to pick your teeth. And the original guy, he had some meatballs stuck in his tooth. So he found a stick on the floor that was really thin, and that is toothpick law, there you go. God. Unity is another thing because of the deleted stream. Unity is not officially the name for who you fight in South Immortal. Essentially, when Medusa was the leader of Chaos, she dispatched a bunch of people down to South Immortal to take out the Order Empire. They're called Unity, or that's what I've been calling them, hence the Stick War 2 trailer. We summon Unity, and I know that's meant to be we summon, we all unite, but I call it Unity because it's just easier. Because we summon Unity, and if that's all what I call Unity, then that's just what I call them. Some kid in the Stick War Discord started talking about Unity, and then Recknell had a massive rant, and it was funny, so. As they sat around the campfire celebrating their achievement, one of the stickmen noticed that his toothpick had snapped in two. He was disappointed but not defeated. He searched his bag and found basically the Sims for every game character. Yeah! That sounds about right. The Simps do simp. Just stick that down there. I really want to remember what I was going to have a rant about. But I don't. So it's really annoying. You know... Alright, okay, so here's another one. You know Recknell? You guys know Recknell. You've definitely seen him before. So Recknell was one of the original, like, ranters. So in my first Stick War Lore video, he just, every Stick War Lore video I ever made, he would just rant about things. And it was like, it makes sense because the basic timeline of Stick War is the one that everyone thinks it was. Now, I know that I'm probably wrong about a lot of things, but what I wanted to do is just think outside of the box and get people to think that maybe, you know, there might be something different to what we've been told this entire time. But people didn't seem to like that because they're very simple-minded. A lot of people aren't going to like me saying that. When Ace Player released the V's poem, I was so disappointed because I was like, yeah, I know that. I knew it all, and I hadn't even heard V's poem or anything. I knew that because of some of the poems that had been leaked by CJ, I knew that, you know, Elemental V made the Chaos Empire and the Order Empire. Like, I wasn't stupid. The only thing I learned from that is that when the Elementals came, like, what order the Elementals came in, and that Order Empire came from a flower. Like, I knew all of that stuff, and I thought that was obvious, and we didn't need some poem that was hyped up for, like, more than a year to tell us that. I think V's poem was just awful, and I guess it was a small thing for Ace to leak. When he did, I messaged him and I was telling him that a lot of people aren't going to like that you've leaked this. And he said one thing which I actually quite like. Yo, how you doing, YOLO Animates? One thing that he said that a lot of people seem to forget, which is actually his words, a lot of people seem to forget that we're here for a good game. And that's what we're not getting. And I totally understand that. So, what essentially that was is, this entire time, CJ has just been playing us, basically. Think about this. He leaked a bad character. Everyone got mad. He started a war. People become more active in the community. And I don't know what it is, but I had a feeling CJ kind of knew what was going to happen. Maybe not to the extent that it is now, but I think he maybe knew some of it. And that's kind of weird as well to think about. Well, after Ace Player lost like 140 backers to that V's poem leaked, I kind of understood where Ace Player was going with it. Like, if you think about it, we're not getting a good game. Like, we are not getting a good game. Like, why are we here? Detroit is also pretty Ohio. We're just not getting. I'm pretty sure CC just switched to Ohio. Bro, I've been living in Ohio my whole life. I am the Ohio final boss. But why are we here? Because we all play Stick War. And what's the whole point of being in a massive community if we're not getting a game? My days, CJ has leaked so many stuff. Like, he has leaked the chests, the crawlers, the Rip Riders back before, like, they came out right at the start. Maps, items, abilities. He's basically leaked everything. Heck, he even said in messages there's going to be multiple campaigns and what they're going to be about. It is all well and good that you can say all of this. But where is it? Coming late 2021. Coming early 2022. Coming mid-2022. Coming late 2022. I've literally seen that fly by. It's going to be early 2023 now. A year and a half. If it gets to early 2023, it would have been a year and a half that we have waited for the campaign in Stick War 3. Isn't that crazy? How CJ is able to postpone what we're here for, this whole thing. And we're still here, and he thinks it's a bit crazy. He doesn't understand why we're angry, because for over a year we have been waiting for something which we haven't got, and we've just had some guy leaking things about it, and these are things that we can't even use and can't even get, to the point where, yeah, people will resort to trying to find things and trying to leak videos and stuff and like campaign spoilers and stuff because we need it, because we haven't gotten it yet. Isn't that just kind of crazy? Like, crazy as Crazy J is, this community has developed over a conflict between the head developer and some of the main Stick War YouTubers ever. Heck, most of my channel has come from Ace Player helping me rant about Stick War. It's just like, what game have you ever seen had an argument this bad that you move to a Discord server? Oh my god, okay, I remember what I was going to rant about. When the Juggernaut was leaked and everyone was angry about it, and I was speaking to Ace, I told everyone it is going to get worse if we don't do something about it. I made a Discord server so we could do things, and no one ever did anything when I was trying to get them to do stuff. And everyone was saying, no one cares about the Jug anymore, it doesn't matter, the argument's over. No, it's not. It's not over, because guess what? We just literally moved to a different Discord server. I never knew what slacking means. This is what I mean. Like, when we moved to that server, I was like, wow. Everyone told me to forget about it, and it wasn't going to get worse. I told Ace Player that it was going to get worse, and he didn't believe me. He thought it was over. He thought that it could just be calm and chill, and we could just keep being mean to CJ and saying stuff like this. And then going, yeah, it's going to be okay. Well, no, because now I think CJ is more angry than ever, and he can ignore it as much as he wants, but this isn't going to work. A new server is not going to fix the problem, it's going to postpone it, and I'm quoting everything I've said before. If the main reason that something is failing is lack of communication, completely cutting off communication is not going to help it. That's the whole point, that's the whole reason we're in this mess, and if we completely cut off communication, it's not going to help. And yes, CJ can develop his game as much as he wants, with all the Stick War Legacy money he wants. The thing is, he could retire right now if he wanted. All of them could retire, because the amount of Stick War Legacy money he has gotten could have them all retire. He is 50 years old. He's close to 50 years old. He could have this retirement right now with all of his mates, but he's not, because he cares about the game. But do you really think that it's going to stay like that if we keep neglecting the game and the community, and as much as making it better like this with a new Discord server will work, it's just god awful. That is the main reason that we are in this mess right now. And when we moved, I made a video saying it was the end of Stick War, and Ace Player was like, nice victory lap. And I said it wasn't a victory. And he said, well, yeah, I told you so as a victory lap. I was like, yeah, that was. But it was far from a victory. How can we win if we've just cut off the only thing that gives us the chance to win? You know, there's more CJ backers than ever right now, because the people who have more than one mind can see that both sides are doing wrong things. And I'm friends with Ace Player, right? I'm good friends with him right now. And, you know, I'm not going to be mean to him or anything, but we have all done bad stuff. You know, it's just like that, you know? So, I think that's where I'm going to end it. I will see you guys in the next episode.